Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. Is anyone able to explain why this is actually happening in our world that we live in right now?
Money.
Money.
That's the one-word answer. Yeah. Would you like the long answer?
What's the long answer?
Publicity and money.
I mean, like, regardless of the result, who's winning more from this arrangement?
Logan Paul, hands down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mayweather does not need any extra publicity. He's got all the publicity you could want in 10 lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
But he is getting like a nice hefty few mil out of it, I think I read somewhere. So
Good
for turning up.
Yeah, from what
just
I'm
for
seeing,
showing that.
like the numbers seem to be 35 mil and rising. From his perspective.
Bye, Kane. Hey.
Back.
And I think part of the business strategy here is by consistently having exhibition fights, that publicity is necessary so his brand doesn't die out. Because we've had Big Show, which is hilarious, Conor McGregor, which was interesting. Credible? The Conor McGregor fight?
I don't know, but all I know is I think this Logan guy is a bit crazy. Like, who's gonna? I know he's like Mayweather's getting older, but just you look at the track record.
I was going to say his professional thing is he's been knocked out once.
Yeah,
and he's won none.
Exactly.
He got knocked out by KSI.
I know. I just think this guy's going to be a bit of a laughing stock. Maybe he's obviously up for it.
But he's already won. I'm sorry. He's fighting him, and his brother stole his hat and caused a brawl in the press conference. Like, you've won already. Like, how many more pay-per-view views do you reckon he got for stealing the hat because of that brawl? 500,000 pay-per-view views?
Yeah,
what was that, £20 each?
Yeah, he's obviously
like, hats off to him in terms of publicity and making money, man. Like, literally, apparently the first thing they did after that press conference, and his thing he kept saying was, I got your hat, I got your hat. Went home.
It all sounds really like childish to me.
Yeah, but they made shirts with it on. So within an hour, they had shirts for sale with it on, and they sold out. Like, it is clever on some level.
It is, but I just think the amount of money that goes into it, and then there's other things, you know, going on in the world, and these things just seem so infantile. We're all supposed to be looking up to these people, supposedly. And I don't know, I find it all laughable.
It's become like wrestling, hasn't it?
No wonder I've never heard about the guy, because he's just totally not my cup of tea at all. But yeah.
It's like a fictional story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys see YouTube boxing becoming a thing? Like the most little famous YouTubers getting in the boxing ring every so often?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm a big fan of boxing. And like, at first it was interesting because I was like, oh, this is non-professionals who I do actually enjoy watching the other stuff, doing something I didn't like. So this is going to be interesting. And now it's just become a free-for-all. I know loads of people, like you got like Bouncer, who's like Captain Conan, like involved in them. And this like gym guy called Arms, I've got a fight coming. Like loads of people are going, let's step into the ring. Let's make loads of money, and if we make loads of money, let's step in the ring with somebody else who also, and I'll bring my audience, you bring yours, they'll blend, we'll both make money, then I'll do it with another person. And I almost feel like they've pimped boxing. Like they've gone, oh yeah, we're just going to take this art.
Because it is a great sport.
There you go.
It's become like wrestling. That's how I see it. I see the Pauls as the ultimate heel characters, you know, the characters you love to hate. They are there to be hated, and people show up just because they want to see them get punched.
Yeah.
They are the epitome of that. You can't find a better person you want to punch in the face, really, can you? Like, I think that's where their success comes from.
I
Boris
agree with
versus
Kane, like
Piers
it's such a
Morgan would
good
be
sport,
quality.
but it's all become really dramatized. And I was so upset when I found out that WWE was fake, because my brother used to watch it all the time. And I feel like we are going to one day find out that it's all fake, and we're all
I said this.
broken.
How old were you when you found out?
God, I think I must have been about 8 or 9, so I was still quite young.
Oh,
But I used to love like
early. That's
Stone
so
Cold
upsetting.
Steve Austin. I used to like love him, and then I found out it was all like, you know, not real, and I was heartbroken. And I just, and that's how I feel about boxing. I love this thing; it's a really good sport, but I just think I hate all of the arguments with each other when they go to these conferences and they like throw like names at each other, and
they do the whole I'm staring at you,
and pushing their heads together like two rhinos, like it's just crazy.
Just get your dicks out and over with.
Yeah,
I think that's the wildest thing though in this. I think for those who are boxing lovers, I'm somewhere in the middle, but if Mayweather loses this, does it damage the credibility of boxing?
No recovery.
No, it doesn't. Because unfortunately, as much, and this is like similar to what Emma said there, I wonder how many people some people made a lot of money on when Ruiz beat Joshua. And if someone bet big on Logan Paul winning, it's so much more than the money they make from like pay-per-view and the advertising. So not for a second, if he lost somehow, which is insane for me, but if he did, someone at the top needed that to happen because they've made insane amount of money. That's how I would look at it.
So you think it was a fix?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. 100%.
Where does that stop then? Do we isolate the fixing to Mayweather, to YouTubers, to where does that fixing line end?
There's nowhere to say, unfortunately. And that's what I mean by the sports lose it. Like, I guess you're right with the credibility of, can we trust boxing anymore? And it's like, I guess we can't to some degree, because anybody could have agreed something before they get in the ring. But I know that there's other fights that I imagine if it was an upset, I'd be like, you know what, that's shocking, but not impossible. Where this kind of upset is borderline and impossible. And that's why I'd be like, someone's getting paid.
Y'all are being so disrespectful to Logan Paul.
I don't know.
2 legs. Mayweather's a granddad. Paul's in his prime of his life.
His prime is close. His prime is weak, bro. I would fight Logan Paul. I'll be honest with you. If I could get in, I used to box. I would give it a go. I've seen him box, and I would give it I wouldn't fight Mayweather ever. Like, even in 30 years, in 20 years, in 10 years, I wouldn't. Because he's a master of defense.
The speed and not getting hit. Like his greatest attribute is like a fading attribute. Like that speed as a defensive fighter.
No,
if he
not
loses
true.
That, then what has he got?
No, that's not true. Mayweather's defense isn't his speed in defense. It's how he defends his body. He's got a perfect defense in that. His head speed isn't what makes his defense so good. On top of that, Logan Paul can't throw anyway. So it doesn't make any difference.
I'm picturing it, not necessarily a proper boxing stance, but you know those like Mario, like Bowser punches?
Yeah.
That's the technique I'm kind of picturing in my head.
Yeah, man.
It's a proper arcadey noise whenever he hits. Like a little...
Yeah.
Man. I don't know. I just feel like we disrespected Logan Paul a lot today.
No. Right. I was talking to my friend about this because he's adamant Logan Paul's going to lose. But I was saying you should never underestimate the Paul's abilities to get under your skin. Now, how far away is the fight? It's in June, isn't it? The fight?
Mm-hmm.
He's got weeks to wind the man up, and he's very good at it. He has already brought who's considered the calmest boxer in terms of like press conferences and things ever. They made him start shouting, "Don't you dare disrespect me!" and like made the man tackle him and attack him.
Yeah.
what's he gonna get out of him before then? And like, what state is he gonna get his mind in when they're in that ring? Like, is it you know? Because Jake Paul's, he's not allowed ringside, is he anymore? But you know, what's to stop him doing childish stuff on the day that just like triggers him again? Like, there's nothing. That's what I'm thinking that their plan is.
I honestly think that is the most reckless plan ever. Because the problem is, and like, I can't even explain this, but like, the ability of Mayweather, even if you go, because this isn't like, if I understand what you're saying, because this is Tyson, and Tyson can be all over the place, and his technique's gonna fall, and he's gonna be a lot of this. Mayweather is, as a boxer, I've seen every one of his bouts. I don't think you could get him to the point where he's going to lose his technique, when he's going to be all over the place. And then, unfortunately, I don't even care how much we're beating down Logan Paul. Even an all over the place Mayweather, Logan Paul he's not capitalizing on that. Do you know what I mean? All this is to me is Logan Paul's going to get his face caved in. He needs to make as much money as possible. To do that, there needs to be as much chaos and carnage and nonsense. So as many people, because every time there's something crazy, all the tabloids are going to be like, "Oh my God, this happened," and that's going to be more.
It plays into his hands. That's why I think he's going to do it.
Exactly, and more people will come to watch the fight because they'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this!" And for the last 8 weeks, he's done this to him and he's done that to him, and all Logan Paul wants to do is go, "Yeah, I'm absolutely battered and bruised, but thank God I made myself another 100 mil worth it." It's as simple as that.
Well, on that note, come June the 6th, I guess we find out. All right.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm planning on watching it at 3 a.m, I suppose.
I'll have to watch it, unfortunately.